evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Midweek War! I, of course, am Mad Mike. You all know me, and we are here to talk the full episode of Impact Wrestling. With me, as always, is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Paton. How are you, sir?
Hey.
Oh, Eamon, you look excited for this episode.
So excited.
Oh, man. All right, and with us is our special friend in the mainstream media, Matt Carlins. How are you, sir?
You know what? If I'm here sitting with you guys talking about Impact, you know it was a happening. So, Mike, it's nice to be back together for the second straight night. Eamon Paton, I knew you'd come! So let's get the party started.
Brother Eamon, what is your word for Impact?
That's my word.
Sigh. Okay, we'll take that as asterisk, sigh, asterisk. Brother Matt Collins, what is your word for Impact?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. All right, my
Matt,
word.
what's your word?
God, my word is.
It's not. God damn it! Those are two. That's two words.
Xylophone. No, I'll pick something that wasn't from the final deletion. I will say makeouts.
Okay.
Makeouts. It's a word. All right. So Eamon, I know you weren't exactly high on this episode, but do you have a good this week?
I guess the wrestling in the X Division Ultimate X match. I didn't like the concept of the match and why it was there, but the wrestling was good. I'll just leave it at that. The wrestling's good. I'm not gonna. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, Eamon is salty this week. I like it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Easy, Bobby during the third hour of Raw during Hangout.
Something Billy Kay. Something. Billy Kay would have made this episode better, I'll say that.
That is a fair point. Matt, what was your good this week?
I think I want to give it to the setup for Lashley and Eddie Edwards, just because of the fact that it represented them trying to take advantage of an opportunity and make a match that will hopefully bring some people back. I'm kind of intrigued. Title for title. I could see how that could go less than fulfilling of an outcome, so we'll see what happens. But I like the idea that they tried to make a match and try to bring me back next week with more babyface violence with Drew and EC3 too. So for that, I give them a thumbs up.
Okay, since you brought it up, we're gonna have title for. Actually, we're probably gonna do predictions at the end, right?
For what?
For Destination X.
Oh, is that even a thing?
Sure.
So is there more than one match that we know for that?
Yeah, ish.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. All right. We'll talk about it. My good for this week. It's tough because I want to say the final deletion. Even though
would be a worthy.
Even though I didn't really like a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
I'm going to say that's my good, even though I mostly didn't think it was good.
Well, no, all right, okay. The concept of the final deletion is my good. The concept. The execution, we'll get into and by the way, we're only going to be talking about it a little bit tonight. We did a Midweek War spin-off showcase spectacular, myself and Matt Carlins, a watch party of the whole damn thing, and oh man, we got into it. we dug deep into the final deletion. But yeah, I'll say it's my good. I'll say it's my good for the concept. The execution could have been better, could have been worse. But Eamon, how about your bad? What was your bad this week?
My bad for this week was a match that I actually was going into it was thinking that's probably going to be my good, but then the fucking commentary happened, and it was the fucking Jade Marty Bell street fight. What was that?
Yeah, that ruined the whole match for me.
The commentary was so bad, like unbearably bad. Like, okay, because I took some notes about, like, a good 90% of the few notes I took about Impact are about that match.
Mm-hmm.
The quote from Pope about Marty Bell, she used that baking sheet better in the ring than she ever has in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Are you?
This is 2016, Pope.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't. And you can't make that line and then talk about how they're the greatest athletes for women in wrestling. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's ridiculous. They go on like a 3-minute rant about jeans. Like,
well, okay. That I will forgive. They were establishing why they're not wearing their ring gear to a street fight.
You think
I understand
no,
that.
they did not. They did not establish it one bit.
I think that's how it started.
Maybe that was why they were why Josh brought it up, but then it just de-escalated into this 3-minute long thing about jeans and, like, quote from Pope, if I'm going to wear jeans, they would be Versace. That's not a thing that exists. Like, and, like, they just keep going on and on about jeans, and it just takes away the seriousness of what's supposed to be like a grudge match. This is a grudge match between these two former tag partners.
Well, not only, and I don't know if this is part of your notes, but this is a line I vividly remember because it bothered the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Josh at one point just went to Pope and said, "Hey, come on, take this seriously. If you have to tell your announcers to take it seriously, I'm not going to take it seriously as a viewer. I'm not."
Basically. And then my favorite line, and this is verbatim from Pope, I feel like when Marty Bell gets the trash can put over her head and Mia Yim starts whacking her with the kendo stick with it, he says, "I feel like I'm watching Sesame Street, and Marty is playing the role of Grouch."
Mm-hmm.
Not Oscar the Grouch. Apparently there's a character on Sesame Street, according to Pope, just called Grouch.
Well, Pope's on a last name basis with him.
This was. We say this every week about TNA, that the commentary is so bad. But I just want to reiterate, the commentary is so bad.
You know, I think that's why I wasn't completely soured on the final deletion.
Because you didn't have commentary?
There was no commentary.
That's fair.
I think it helped. I think it honestly helped. Because could you imagine the commentary on that match?
Oh.
Like, Matt and Jeff Hardy were trying to do something very artistic and dynamic, and I get that. No.
Well, I'll get into that.
Art is art, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But, God, if there was commentary on that, they would have shit on everything. They would have shit on every single thing. All right.
I say it every week. TNA replace commentary team.
Yep.
Stop it.
Literally, don't even have one. It would make it a better show.
Yeah.
I actually tried watching one match on mute. So much better improved. So much improved.
No, I would agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. All right, Matt, what will be your bad this week?
Well, definitely the thing that stood out to me the most is that Dixie Carter remains an ever-present just albatross around the neck of the entire show every time she comes out. And I think, like, the worst part for me was that, I don't know. I'm not. Does she really have to have two segments? I mean, that's one thing. But that just, like, the thing that pushed it right over the top for me, and certainly this is nothing new, but when they put the big logo, big graphic up on the screen with her Twitter address, her Twitter handle, and it's big as life. It's like a quarter of the screen.
I've always
and just it, like,
because they'll make it
a damn break.
They'll always make it a point to when they promote the social media to say follow Impact and also follow Dixie. Like, why?
They
WWE's
tweet
not,
the same thing.
yeah, but
They
they're
tweet
not,
the exact same thing.
WWE's not being like, follow WWE on Twitter and also follow Vince McMahon. Because that's dumb.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
WWE doesn't even say, follow us. They just say, hey, we're on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have to beg for followers.
But going to your point, Matt, one of my notes is, what is the point of any of this stuff with Mike Bennett? Are we going to lead to a mixed tag with Bennett and Maria against Billy Corgan and Dixie?
Oh,
Eamon,
you just made me sick to my stomach.
No, but I'm being honest.
I know, and that's a realistic possibility, and that's why I'm a little sick.
Who is on the other side? That's a wrestler that can feud with Bennett over this. EC3 again? Maybe?
He seems like he's otherwise occupied.
Right. So, what is this feud leading towards? You have Mike Bennett. You have Maria, who should be wrestling, but we still haven't seen her wrestle.
I don't think Maria wants to wrestle.
And then you have two non-wrestlers.
At this point, I'm gonna call Maria a non-wrestler.
What can you even do to lead to this feud?
I don't even know what this feud's about anymore.
Both of these segments I hated. You have four people that just cannot talk, and it was bad. It was.
I'll say Maria's not bad on the mic when she actually has something to say and something that she is doing with a purpose.
Maybe, but she was awful here.
Well, yeah, that's because this storyline has no point.
But no, not even because of the storyline. Really, the whole me or you, me or you, me or you.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
That was just no emotion, just awful. And I also wrote, God, Billy Corgan's awful.
And at this point, why doesn't Dixie just fire them?
What's the...
what are they bringing to the company at this point?
Because I love that the point was Bennett was we'll walk, and then it's well then walk. Who cares?
Wasn't Maria's theme song WWE Walk Idiot Walk, or was that actual?
Maybe, but why just walk? Go back to Ring of Honor. Who? You know what I mean? It's the same difference. Just walk. And then he realized, oh, they won't care really if I walk, so I'm going to ruin Destination X. And also, that's the thing I hate. No subtlety. He's just I'm going to ruin Destination X. So it's okay. Just lay out your plan. You don't say, you can say something you're gonna regret this or something
or you'll pay.
Right, just
or
something,
a plague of both your houses.
Something to give the illusion that we don't know what you're gonna do. This whole show was bad.
Basically, ever since Mike Bennett came to Impact, almost every segment involving him has been horrible.
I never was one of the ones that hated Mike Bennett when he was in Ring of Honor. I know a lot of people do, especially when he was in Ring of Honor. But here, he has made me hate him for all the wrong reasons. He is not good on the mic at all.
I think he would be better if they brought him in with a purpose, but they don't see. They got this name Miracle in their head, and then they had no idea what to do with it.
Yeah.
Because he has not done anything miraculous.
Yeah, and there's no validity to anything he's saying as well. When he talks about how he's the reason people watch Impact, and that would be more compelling if that was actually true.
Or if he was the world champion.
Right. If he was the world champion, I can understand it. But in any other case, that's not the case.
Yeah, if EC3 was the world champion, and when Bennett ended the streak, it was to take the world championship from EC3, that would make it a big deal.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they want Lashley as the champion, and I have no idea why.
I can have a reason why.
Why?
Because he looks like a legit person who can beat up another person.
And he sounds...
Until you hear him speak.
Until you hear him speak, yeah.
I think his talking has gotten a lot better.
Oh my, really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I liked him with Eddie. Yeah, I liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
You haven't been watching past weeks of Impact?
No, I only watched sparingly.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, the nice thing about watching Impact only once every like 2 or 3 months, for me at least, every time I watch, I'm okay with it. It's kind of nice, it's fresh, it's different. I go away, I come back.
Well,
Now, if
the
I
complete-
watch because
well,
I watched like multiple weeks in a row, it does start to wear on
Well,
me.
the reason because of that, Matt, is because it's a completely different show every time you come back.
Now, Matt, I have a question. Since you do watch Impact sparingly, do you feel like you missed anything since the last time you watched Impact?
Well, I feel like I missed whatever has kind of like gone about in the main event scene with Lashley and Drew and EC3 and how that's kind of all dusted up a little bit. So
You didn't really
yeah, I feel
miss
like I've
much.
kind of missed that. I definitely missed how Mike Bennett got his hands on the X Division title for I guess a week. So
Spoiler alert: it was cheating.
yeah, well, as you do when you're being the bad guy.
Okay, I was just curious to see if you feel like you missed anything. My bad this week. Decay. Decay was such a fun concept. It was two people who I immediately gravitated towards. One person who they flipped me on, Crazy Steve. And ever since Decay debuted, they have proceeded to ruin Decay.
Yeah.
And now, for some reason, Abyss and Crazy Steve are offended that Rosemary is making out with Bram.
For some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. They were watching her give him a dry hump lap dance last week.
Like
on
they
Impact.
knew she was going after Bram
Yes.
to be a part of the K. Why are they upset?
Like, maybe it's because they haven't properly established what the relationship between Rosemary and Abyss and Crazy Steve were. Were they like a
Because I assumed if she's doing this to recruit Bram, they were recruited in a similar way.
Yeah, but we've never seen Rosemary make out with either of them, so maybe they're just...
She's getting close with Crazy Steve.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't get it. It's the fact, like, are you being drawn into Decay because you have blue balls and Bram actually got some? I don't really know. I honestly don't know, and you can't rely on the announcers to explain it.
Because they're not going to do it.
There was no promo about this to explain it.
Here, the issue is the type of gimmick that is needs to be done in a certain environment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Decay would work in, I think, any other environment. Even WWE. Even main roster WWE would work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like they haven't established what the relationship is. Like if Rosemary is making out with Bram, why do they care?
Right.
Like I'm honestly asking. I don't know why that would bother them. And why did it have to be hidden from Robbie? That makes even less sense.
And where's Jimmy Havoc?
Yeah, see, if Rosemary had gotten back with Jimmy Havoc, that to
That's a
me
compelling
makes
story.
sense. Because Decay had an issue with Jimmy Havoc. But Decay wanted Bram.
I may be completely wrong, but Jimmy Havoc's like not injured anymore. I may be wrong, but like if that's the case, like why not continue the story where you left off of instead of doing this like weird like thing with Bram that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's probably because they don't have anything for Bram to do.
I guess.
All right. So Eamon, what would you change about Impact this week?
One thing I was gonna say the final Deletion, but in theory I wouldn't change anything based off numbers, I guess. Because what do I know? I'm a smart mark fan, not a casual fan. But fuck if I know. I'll say the commentary. I know we're gonna get to the final Deletion later, so I'll just say the commentary team because duh.
Okay, that's fair. Matt, how about you? What would be your change for this week?
Geez, there's always room for improvement on Impact, isn't there? I think,
Hey, to be fair, there is room for improvement on every wrestling show.
that's true. That's
Just a
true.
little more than that.
I don't know. I wish that women's match had been better. I don't know what was going on there.
Matt,
I had high
watch it
hopes
on mute. Watch it on mute.
No, I wasn't even paying attention to the commentary, to be honest with you. I didn't remember much of what was said, aside from Josh saying things in... Oh, my gosh. you poisoned me now. It's contagious. Now you're going to make me spout off about the announcing. But like when a bad guy does something nefarious and steals a match, I kind of imagine like what would Jim Ross say in a situation like this? He'd be like spastic, like, how can you say something like that, Pope? I just stole this match, god damn it, son of a bitch, you know. Josh Matthews is like in this like faux shouty voice that he uses. Ugh, I don't want to be mean, but it's just so.
Like
He always sounds like
It's like an impression of an announcer, a bad impression of a wrestling announcer. It's almost sometimes, and not even with any like real like genuine emotion. Like it doesn't seem like he ever reacts to what's actually happening in front of him. He's just kind of like commenting. And Eli Drake has laid out James Storm here on Impact, and I'm like, will you get pissed off, Eli Drake? You son of a bitch!
You're dead on. You're absolutely dead on. That's what I hate about it, is because there's no emotion involved in this.
And do you guys know why there's no emotion? Because they don't do this commentary live. They're watching it on a monitor.
But fake it. Fake it.
They don't know how to fake it.
If Eli Drake
aren't they sitting at the announce desk? Didn't I see them at the announce desk out there? Or did I imagine
that? Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't.
Usually, like the first set of tapings, they're there because it's live to tape. But after that, everything is just pre-recorded and they've already watched it.
Like, if Eli Drake intentionally gets himself disqualified so he can keep the championship, you as a commentator should be upset about that. And you should evoke with your emotion why I, as a viewer, should be upset about that. If you're not doing that, why the fuck would he do in the first place?
Yeah, you gotta be like...
The point of him doing that is to get heat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's right there for you to, like, build these two guys up. James Storm, it was who knows, minutes away from winning this title, and Eli Drake, stole this match, and someone's got to step up and beat Eli Drake and take this title away from him, this son of a gun,
That's why I'm
the opportunity to put up both of those guys in that one situation, in that situation with Eli Drake and James Storm, was right there.
That's why I'm not
kind of like let it flitter away.
That's why I'm not invested in a single wrestler in TNA. Is because they give me no reason to be. They give me absolutely no reason to be, and you cannot just rely on the wrestlers to do it. You as a commentator have to do it as well. That's why people are talking about, like, oh, Lucha Underground TNA, like, comparing the two. That's why I love Lucha Underground. Is because they make me care. They make me care. Say whatever you will about Matt Striker and Vampiro. They make me care.
They actually have emotion when they're watching a match. Like, you can tell. And sometimes, you know what the best thing is? They're fans, and they shut the fuck up during matches.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen to Impact... and just listen. The announcers never stop talking. They never, ever stop talking on Impact. Like, there's no, like, sitting in awe of a match. There's no letting things sit.
Yeah.
There's no, like if when Eli Drake attacks James Storm, there's no, like, letting you hear the chants. Even if they're fake chants. Like, it's just... oh my God, Eli Drake! Look what he did! We're gonna go a break. Big brother, big brother, big brother.
Even during stuff like the X Division match, like Mark Andrews does the crazy flip off the fucking setup or whatever, and like the crowd's excited and they're chanting TNA, but you can't hear them because the announcers are just like, oh, this is amazing, this is great, trying to hammer that home.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like, talk about like
let it breathe.
Talk about the textbook moment when you're supposed to lay out and let it breathe. It's when a dude like moonsaults off the top of the scaffold. That's when you shut up.
You don't have to hit me over the head with how amazing this is. The crowd's reaction will let me know how amazing this is.
Yeah, especially since the TNA crowd usually isn't that loud to begin with. But when they are loud, they're
loud.
very vocal. Okay, my change this week. Why Eddie Edwards? That's my change. I'm not invested in Eddie Edwards as a person. I'm not invested in him as a character. I don't feel any heat between him and Lashley. Lashley could have cut that.
They've never interacted.
Well, no, but Lashley could have cut that exact same promo against anyone who won that match, even Mike Bennett, and it would have been the exact same promo. And not only that, we've had 3 X Division title changes in the past month.
Yeah.
Where is this legacy of the X Division? There is none. They had to pull Mandrews from fucking mothballs to even get enough people for this Ultimate X match.
Yeah.
Like, Destination X is supposed to be all about the X Division.
I bet this is the only X Division related thing we're getting on the show. I bet you money.
Yeah, because last year for Destination X, we didn't even crown a new champion.
There's no story.
We had 3 tournament matches.
No one else has the story. No one else has a direction in that division. But my thing is this. Like, now that I think about it, you know who would have been a better person to give the win here if you didn't want to give it to Bennett? Braxton Sutter.
Yep, Braxton Sutter. That's what I was going to say.
Have him get the surprise. Like, he's a guy a month or so in. He gets a surprise win and gets a title match.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking cool thing. That's something really cool that you can do. Remember, they did that once with Jay Lethal in like early 2007, where he won like something like a title shot for any title, and he's like young Jay Lethal, you know, not even Black Machismo, just like regular X Division guy Jay Lethal. And he's like, you know what, I'm not going to challenge for the X Division title. I'm going to challenge for Kurt Angle for the heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Why Eddie Edwards? I don't care about Eddie Edwards.
I still, like, if you put him and Davey Richards next to each other, I still would not know who was who.
Like, that's... At least look at, if you know anything about Eddie Edwards, even look at his track record. When he won the Ring of Honor title in, like, 2011, people were like, really?
Mm-hmm. So, wait, is he the Arrested Development her?
Yeah, like Roddy, I know like there were contenders, like Roddy was I think the champion at the time. Like Davey Richards was kind of like the top contender. And then there was other people like Steen and Generico and people like that. And then they got a random show, they give the belt to Eddie Edwards, and everyone was like, wait, what? Like just because he was partners with Davey. And like, keep in mind this is the Cornette era. But like, what the fuck? Like, I do not give a damn about Bobby Lashley versus Eddie Edwards at all, and neither situation's good.
Nope. Especially title for title.
Yeah. The fact that it's title for title, neither scenario is good.
Oh shit! I just realized we're not gonna get anything else X Division related because you can't crown a new champion because the whole point of Option C is that you're giving up the X Division title so that you can go for the world title, but they're not even doing that anymore.
Yeah. But, like, look at the 2 scenarios. Either Lashley wins and becomes heavyweight champion and X Division champion, which we've seen that before, and that's worked out so well. Remember when Kurt Angle had all the belts?
I think the only time it actually worked was when Joe had both.
When Joe had both, it was cool. But, like, that's different. Like, and then look at the other side. Eddie Edwards is the fucking world champion. And also has 2 belts, and the idea that you would put it on Eddie makes no sense to me.
I think there's a third option.
Mike Bennett comes in and causes a DQ.
Double DQ.
Double DQ, and we get
Yeah.
no title change.
I think there won't be a title change.
Yeah,
Which-
I
don't. That's what I was gonna say.
Which is kind of rotten because I'm sitting here trying to defend the fact that they have booked this match, and I still think this was a good idea on their part. So I'm going to defend this match at the same time as I admit the fact that I expect a non-finish and not a title change in this whole title.
Way to keep those 80,000 new viewers, Impact.
Well, look, if you're going to bring in these fresh eyeballs, it would seem to make sense.
A big title match with a fuck finish.
Actually has something of a name among the hardcore wrestling fans and put him into a match that people will want to come back and see next week.
Eddie Edwards.
That's the best they've got in that match.
Okay, you were stretching by saying Eddie Edwards is a strong name around those wrestlers.
Who's the bigger name? Apologies to DJZ. Who was the bigger name?
It's not about having a bigger name.
Well, then what else did you want them to do?
Rockstar Spud.
Put it on Braxton Sutter, because that would have been interesting.
No one knows who Braxton Sutter is.
That's the
point.
That's not going to help them.
This won't help them either.
No.
You're not going to help anybody. You're not going to help Braxton Sutter by hot-shotting him into a match where he's just going to get mauled by Bobby Lashley.
He doesn't have to get mauled.
Help him.
He doesn't have to get mauled. He can get a few hope spots, and it can still be captivating.
Or he could fucking win.
No.
Why not? It would be different. It would be absolutely different.
Yeah, everyone.
And Braxton Sutter actually is a good guy on the mic.
Yeah.
He's a good guy on the mic. And plus, if you want to force people to tune in next week, have a title change. Have a big, surprising title change. And you know what? Have Mike Bennett accidentally cost Lashley the belt. Because Braxton Sutter was the guy who almost took the X Division title from Bennett in the first place. That's a cool story. And then Braxton Sutter can come out the week after, hey, you know what? A couple weeks ago, I was this close to being Mike Bennett. Now I'm the world champion, and it's kind of thanks to Mike Bennett. You have an immediate storyline.
I think it's also, Matt, because you don't know the way they introduced Braxton Sutter. Based off the way they introduced him, this would have been perfect. This would have been literally perfect.
You're right. I just jumped in on this. This is not the first time I've seen Pepper Parks, but it is the first time I've seen Braxton Sutter, and I'm telling you, it's not.
But you just saw everything you've seen
laid out is good. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I'm just telling you, all these fresh eyeballs that they apparently got for this episode of Impact, there wasn't much to latch onto with Braxton Sutter. If they wanted to go in that direction, they needed to do some more work on this show.
I'm sorry, but if you're going to argue that, though, Braxton Sutter and Eddie Edwards, there's not a huge difference as far as star power. There's not.
Well, no, I
Braxton Sutter is not more than how many weeks old? I mean, that.
And Eddie Edwards is 2 years old in TNA, and nobody really is captivated by him.
I mean, see, the thing is, they draw in so many people. Guess what? The reason that they drew in all these people, neither of those guys are going to be on next week.
Or if they are, at least one of them will.
No, neither of them are going to be on. I'll guarantee that. I'll guarantee that.
Maybe not live.
Maybe one aftermath promo.
Yeah.
But other than that, and it won't be live. It'll be a pre-recorded thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because having it in the Impact Zone doesn't make any fucking sense because that group of fans will not have seen the final deletion.
Well, I think it's a new set of tapings.
Is it? I don't think it is.
I want to say it is because I think that's when the tapings ended.
Okay.
Because they haven't taped the match between Lashley and Eddie yet.
Okay.
So I can, I don't know. Do we want to, Mike? Did you say change?
Yeah. Wait, did I? Yeah. My change would be Eddie Edwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone but Eddie.
Can we get to this final deletion thing?
Sure, we can, Eamon. Eamon, what what did you think about the dilapidated boat?
Here's the thing: the dilapidated boat line like made me like slightly chuckle. Other than that, I thought it was meh.
They could have had a better finish.
I thought it was way too overhyped. That was my fear going into it before I watched it. Was like they have hyped this to such a degree, it's not going to live up to the hype. And guess what? For me at least, it didn't. But don't get me wrong, I am in the most minute minority because the response to this match has been fucking insane. Like people who are well respected in wrestling and in wrestling like conversation are calling this thing groundbreaking, like revolutionizing.
I
Like,
wonder if those people have ever actually seen Lucha Underground.
non-ironically. They're not saying that ironically. Like, Jericho is saying that. Mick Foley is saying that.
Well, Eamon, think about all the crap professional wrestling television product that some of these people have to sit through. You know,
I mean, like, what crap?
like 3+ hours of Raw every week, all right? It gets exhausting. It's time for a break. And that's
so much
what I
else.
think
There is so
why
much
people
else than this.
responded so positively to this match, because they just want something freaking different.
But,
He's giving
nothing-
something on another tangent.
no.
And yes, hey, yes, Lucha Underground is a damn fine professional wrestling alternative. But you know what? We only get 1 hour a week. You know, and even this is very different.
We get
In
2 hours of
tone,
impact. No.
presentation,
let's see.
Lucha Underground, yes, very different. All right.
Here's the thing.
This is why I made the concept of the final deletion my good. I appreciate what they were trying to do.
But it was the execution.
Yeah, and that's always been TNA's problem. Sometimes they'll come up with good concepts and stuff, and the way they go about it is wrong. It was too overproduced, like very much so, even more than Lucha. Because Lucha, you don't really notice the cuts too much. This one, oh boy, did you notice them.
Like, drink every time there was a cut.
Yeah.
You will die of alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, and for me that works in something like an Avengers movie or something like that. It doesn't work when it's two Carolinians trying to fake beat the crap out of each other.
Here, and my thing is this. Like I told you, I slightly chuckled at the whole dilapidated boat line, just because of how it was in the scene. That was it though. Like, and I know people were tweeting like stuff about the xylophone and like all this shit, but like I don't know. To me, it reads as them trying so hard to.
Hey, you know what?
They literally were like, let's do anything ridiculous we can possibly think of. Whatever, doesn't matter. We'll do it. Like,
Eamon,
and it
I gotta
comes
give it
off-
credit though. It's nice to see someone in Impact trying hard.
Okay, but you're
No,
you're
I know
trying
it's
in
a low
all the
bar,
wrong
but-
ways. You're trying in all the wrong ways. It's like the equivalent of somebody trying to make a viral video. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, all right, I see that.
You know what I mean? When you try to make a viral video, it's not going to work. Viral happens on its own. A lot of people compared the contract signing to something like The Room. We compared it to that even.
Yeah.
What made The Room so good wasn't because it was a bunch of people getting together and say, let's make a terrible movie.
They were trying to make a really good movie.
They were honestly trying to make a good movie and had good intentions to do so. And it came in, and that was the result. And that aspect of it is what has made The Room a cult classic. If you're just going out there trying to produce shit, they literally saw that some people, they got a little bit of buzz because of the contract signing. And they went, oh shit, we gotta just do more of that. More. What's more weird? Say something about a xylophone. Play the violin, Matt. Let's do.
And I'm gonna, all right. And this may be because Matt, you haven't seen the contract signing, right?
I actually watched it today.
Okay.
The final deletion was better.
I don't think they got buzz from the contract signing itself. I think they got buzz from the stuff that spawned from it. And I'm talking about two very key things. One, our friend Jess inventing Keyboard Matt. That, I think, got more buzz than the actual contract signing to begin with. And then TNA hopped on that bandwagon, and EC3 created his own version. I think that's where the buzz came from, and not from the actual segment.
I don't even think the EC3 thing got like a lot of buzz. Like I think it's part of the whole like thing with like the stuff with Jess kind of thing. But they also took Jess's stuff and ran that into the ground. That's why Matt brought out a keyboard at Slammiversary for no fucking reason. That's why they're just driving way too hard into this shit, and it's obvious to me. Like I don't know, to me, it's obvious, and that ruins it. We'll get into it when we talk about Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground had a lot of comedy this week and a lot of funny moments, but they didn't go in saying we're just going to do this to be weird because it will get us social media buzz.
Yep.
They didn't do that. It's and I know Jeremy Boras listened to you guys' reaction. I'm not going to again. What the fuck do I know?
I applaud the effort.
What the fuck do I know? I'm a Smart Mark Wrestling fan, apparently. They got 80,000 more people to watch Impact this week. And you know, that case, kudos.
Yeah.
Great. I find it really sad that that's how you had to do it, but kudos. You know, like, it's just so unbelievably frustrating to me. And again, I wanted to at least laugh, but like it just nothing about it really made me laugh. Like I just watched it. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get really funny soon, and then it's like, okay, really?
I mean,
like,
I was entertained by it. Do I think it was the best segment in the world? No. It was the best segment on Impact.
There were a lot of people saying that this is one of the top wrestling segments of all time. I have literally heard people say that unironically.
Okay, but that's a knee-jerk reaction from something because it just happened.
And I'm sure there are people out there who are saying it's the worst of all time, too.
Of course, absolutely. It's another knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
it's probably eventually somewhere in the middle.
True. I think it's more. I don't know. I've looked at like just looking at social media. Like that's such the minority of people saying that this was bad. Like that's such the minority. Like
let me try to.
It's baffling to me. It's
so
baffling.
Let me try to find the right comparison for this thing. You guys remember back when Bellator did Kimbo Slice versus Dada 5000, and it turned into an absolute cluster of an MMA fight. It was the most hideous, disturbing, nearly deadly thing. In fact, maybe it was in a long time. And the reaction to that was very similar to the Final Deletion, except whereas people kind of like, there was a bit of a wave leading into the Final Deletion, the Kimbo Dada thing kind of all,
it was the first
kind of, people kind of knew it was coming, and then the fun began, and me personally, I was watching from the beginning, and just the only thing proper way to describe that fight was absurd. It's just absurd to watch. You couldn't believe what your eyes were seeing. And the Final Deletion fits very neatly in that same category. Absurd, ridiculous, all that stuff. But, you know, for me, I'm in the camp with Mike, probably even more strongly so, in that I just want to salute Impact for pulling this off and getting that many extra eyes onto their product when you're sitting in a week that is just packed. You're already coming off of the 4th of July holiday, which is a handicap in itself. You've got Lucha Underground rolling out Ultimo Lucha Dos. You've got NXT rolling out a really, really good show this week. You got UFC 200, Brock Lesnar coming up this weekend. Impact found a way to cut through the noise, get more eyeballs onto their product, hopefully give people enough to bring some of them back for next week. It's an unqualified success. It got the job done. They got the match out there in front of people ahead of time. They got those screeners out in front of people who they knew were going to talk about it. They got the buzz going. So certainly, and Mike and I talked about this last night, in execution, creatively, I certainly wouldn't have made all of those decisions.
There were some different choices that could have been made.
There were some different choices that perhaps I would have made, but as far as going for it, as far as going all in, and look, this company, as much as they may try to convince us they're not, this is desperate times, man.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get some people watching. They got to make some money.
This is a Hail Mary. It is a Hail Mary.
I believe the reports they were lucky to get the last tapings done. They've got to make something happen.
I agree with you. But here's my thing, though. And I think also my opinion of this is also, and I don't know if you saw it, but that Matt Hardy released a video before this aired about basically breaking character and saying like why this character came about, saying it's designed, his words, saying it's designed for to bring casual fans back to Impact that they lost when they moved from Spike, instead of smart mark wrestling fans.
Well, yeah, but that's what most of wrestling tries to do.
And I've had this discussion with Mike, that TNA does not have a casual fan. TNA, people watch TNA because they are wrestling fans and they want to watch wrestling. They're not flipping through the channels and see something. I would say, and there's no way to determine this, obviously, but those 80,000 new viewers, I would say a lot of them are just people who are wrestling fans like you, me, and Mike, who just stopped watching Impact and found out about this. I can't tell you how many tweets I saw of people being like, I've not watched Impact in years, but I'm going to watch this. And those are wrestling fans. Those aren't casual fans. Those are wrestling fans.
It could be casual wrestling fans.
And the video they released didn't even go viral. The last I checked, it's only at like 13,000, which is like.
Well, that's because TNA hasn't actually
No, they have.
They
have.
Because I tried finding one last night and I couldn't.
They released it today.
Okay. Well, look, viral videos don't pay the bills. Viewers, hopefully, pay the bill.
I think that's a translation as to if this was casual fans watching or if this was wrestling fans watching. I think, because if it was casual fans, this thing would have been shared out like crazy. I think. You know what I mean?
I have a question to pose for both of you. It's a two-part question. One, do you think this is the end of the feud between the Hardys? And two, if it's not, which I don't think it is, does that lessen the final deletion to you? I think it does, because if you do something this big, and then it just ends up back in a ring, in whatever kind of regular match at that point,
they would have to do something bigger.
They would have to kill one of them.
They would have to literally,
They would have to, like pull a Lucha Underground and literally kill one of the characters. Yeah. They would have to make this a bail situation.
Yeah. But I think I agree with Mike. Fine. Well, because even though I disagree of them doing it, fine of the concept. It's the execution. And you know what? People gave Eric Van Wagenen shit for tweeting that same thing. But I'm sorry, he's fucking right. He's 100% right.
But you know what? And I even replied to Eric, and that's not something. But if to the people who are doing Lucha Underground, I don't think you should be upset that someone's trying to emulate what you're doing.
I think you should.
I think we all kind of saw this. I think we all kind of saw this coming.
Imitation is
from season 1 of Lucha Underground, that this was coming. Somebody else was going to try to take what Lucha Underground was doing and maybe put their own spin on it and maybe try to make it work for them too. But
I agree that
the people behind Lucha should not be upset that Impact drew some sort of inspiration, perhaps.
And
I
guys,
don't think they are. But my thing is this. Yes, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But however, in this scenario, where it was literally, in my opinion, them being just like, let's just do a bunch of crazy shit and shoot it a different way. If I'm in Lucha Underground and I fully believe, say whatever you want about their product, but they work very hard in what they produce, in developing it, in putting the stories together, fleshing out the stories, and producing it. They work very fucking hard at that.
Mm-hmm.
So which also has a hell of a lot more resources too at their disposal.
Also, spoiler alert, WWE is going to do the same thing next week when the New Day goes to the Wyatt's compound.
I agree, and that's fine. But when somebody takes a concept like that, and as I feel, just tries to throw weird shit at the wall because they think it will go viral, and it gets such an amount of like, this is comments of, this is revolutionary, this is going to change the game, I would be a little upset. I would. I don't blame them for being upset. I don't think they are upset, but I wouldn't blame them for being upset. I do agree that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but in this scenario, I don't think there's a level of effort put into what they did here that echoes the same effort that Lucha Underground puts in, and that I can see why that could be upsetting.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said last night. TNA didn't do the work. They just wanted to jump right to the Crazy Town Banana Pants stuff. Lucha Underground did the legwork. Like, they showed, like, if you're doing a very hard calculus problem, you can't just write the answer is 5. You have to show your work. You cannot jump right to the answer. If you jump right to the answer in a calc test, you will not get points.
Yeah.
You will not get points. You have to show your work for it.
One last thing about the final deletion that I want to point out. And
well, I wanted to know Matt's thoughts on my questions first.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I am holding on to the hope that it's the last match between them because it is the perfect last match between them. Now, they can come back, they can team up again, they can do all that fun stuff, you know, worse, less plausible things have happened. I'm going to hold on to the hope that it's the last time they do a one-on-one match against one another because fighting in their own backyards to end their feud is the right way to end it, you know.
It's almost the right way to end their careers.
Right, but no one's career is truly.
Well, obviously, but like, if they were both planning on not re-signing with TNA, this is a great way to end their run in TNA.
That'd be a good write-off, yeah. One last thing about
But Matt, if it's not, does this lessen the final deletion for you?
It depends on what comes next.
Nah.
Okay. Cop-out answer, fine.
Now listen, because before the final deletion, I heard, even though I never watched the contract signing, I had heard people going on and on about the contract signing. And then they raised the game. They found a way to take it even higher. Now, God, hey, I don't know how. I know a couple guys, maybe they have some ideas that they wouldn't share with them because they want to keep them to themselves, but I don't know.
I'm telling you, they'd have to literally, one of them would have to kill the other one, like in a kayfabe way, for them to be able to top that. Just straight up murder.
We live in a world for professional wrestling fans where that kind of thing can happen. So,
if you do the work. All right, Eamon, take us home on this.
Just one last thing about the final deletion, and I'm going to approach this from a smart wrestling fan perspective, since I'm not the casual. I also was really perturbed that there was no psychology in the match. Matt Hardy hits a twist of fate 3 minutes in and goes for a pin.
Yeah, no, they
What?
They definitely jumped around.
You set up fireworks? You set up all this shit to kill your brother and to say, once I delete Brother Nero, do not resuscitate him. You put out that you were going to kill this man. 3 minutes in, you go for a pin.
but
People gave Balor and Joe so much shit in that cage match for doing the whole door stuff. This is so much more egregious.
Oh my goodness, cage match psychology! Don't even get me started. He had to go for the pin because, in addition to trying to delete Jeff, he needed to legitimately win the match to obtain the rights to the Hardy name and the Hardy brand. That's why he needed a referee in the middle of the woods, Mad Mike. Remember?
Yeah,
but he said he was going to kill him. If you kill him, he's dead. You can pin him. It's not like to say he has to pin him and then kill him.
This is amazing.
I'm upset. I'm not upset. That's not the right word. Am I distressed? I'm distressed.
You're vexed?
I'm vexed. I am vexed by the reaction of both of you to this match. I'm very concerned.
Don't worry. Like I said, we're in the minority.
Well, yeah, and I'm worried because, you know, I just had... I'm
worried too.
I just had fun watching it, and I laughed, and I did laugh, and I did have fun watching it. And I thought it was absurd, and I thought it was, for Impact, I thought it was a good thing. And I feel terrible that some of the reactions to it have upset you in this way.
No, Matt, I'm worried
because
too.
I don't think that's where it's coming from, you know?
No, I'm worried too. Because when I was up all night reading people's reactions and thinking that I was a crazy person. Like I literally felt like I was in Twilight Zone. Like I literally did not know what to how are these people saying these things and not unironically?
Hey,
how is this happening?
Wrestling is art, right? We all agree wrestling is art, and art is not for everybody. It's always going to be somebody who gets turned off by it. That's just the way it works.
I just didn't get, but I've never had that happen before. I've never been like, and I'm not like, I didn't hate it, obviously. I thought it was meh. I just didn't think it was that good or bad. I just thought it was meh.
Amen.
And everyone was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I'm just like,
Amen. You also have to remember, these people who you've been looking at on the internet, they have not been thoroughly beaten down by Impact like you and I have. You have to remember this. It's like if you...
Let's say we were to find some incredible clip of an indie match from God knows where, and it goes viral. You know, it's happened. Joey Ryan suplexes someone with his penis, and it's the most incredible thing anyone has ever seen. You know, and it gets everywhere, and everyone's excited about it. But to a small portion of people who maybe have followed this tiny fed in this tiny place where I don't even know where the first place is where Joey Ryan did that thing, might be like, what the hell was this? You know?
No, that was in DDT where that shit
Well,
happens,
I guess that's it.
where that shit happens all the time.
Yeah.
But my thing is in the case of Joey Ryan, it was love or hate it split pretty evenly. You know what I mean? The reaction of it is split pretty evenly. This is literally I feel like me and Mike are the only people. Honestly, I kept scrubbing through stuff, YouTube comments, Twitter stuff. No one had a bad thing to say about this.
I think a lot of people
ridiculous.
I think a lot of people have reached the point with Impact where we're tired of watching them get beaten down, and we're just ready to kind of see it show some signs of life. Because at the end of the day, I think we all can agree that Impact being around and wrestlers cashing checks, hopefully, from Dixie and the big, crazy, giant money panda, is a good thing for everybody. We need Impact. We need a strong, healthy Impact in our professional wrestling world, and it is so far down the hill.
I think we all agree with that.
You know?
Yeah, we all agree with that part.
Well,
this was a true sign of life. This was a kickstart, hopefully, towards something. Hopefully, that
But whatever.
Can bring some better times to Impact because hey, there are good guys in that. There are good guys in that company. Guys worth watching. I think.
We've never said anything disparaging about the talent.
No.
We know the talent is there. Sometimes we may not always agree with what they're doing on camera, but the talent is always there. We've said that for years. But I mean, I
don't know.
Again, I don't mind the final deletion. I think it was. Eamon said it was overhyped. I think I would agree with that. I think it needed a better ending. Honestly, I think it did. Because one of them should have been legitimately lit on fire. No,
well, Matt Hardy almost was on his own court.
But if you're going to do a fire spot like that, look at Edge and Mick Foley. They did it, and they did it right. Jeff Hardy, when he hit the swanton off the tree, Matt moved, 2, he hit the ladder, and then Jeff went for the pin, which made no sense. Secondly, Jeff flies off the Illuminati structure, whatever, before the fire even gets to him. Like, I'm nitpicking, but that's what I do. That's what I do. That's how I watch everything. That's how I watch Raw. That's how I watch Impact. That's how I watch Lucha. That's how I watch NXT. It's how I watch Arrow. It's how I watch Flash. It's how I watch Teen Titans fucking Go. It's how I literally watch everything. So,
they got a lot of people to buy in and get on board.
For 1
week.
And
if I had to assign the credit for that, I would give 80% of it to Matt Hardy.
I'm giving 90% of it
to just the absolute insanity, and I'll give the other 20% to Jeff for being a crazy
Matt,
guy who falls off high things.
Matt, I'll give 40% credit to Matt Hardy, 40% credit to Jeff Hardy, and I'm giving 30% credit to Jess. Legitimately, I'm giving her credit for this because without her making a meme out of something that could have been just stupid, it was Matt Hardy's reaction to the meme that spurned the whole escalation of this. I'm fully convinced of that.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely fully convinced of that.
So, Jess, this is your fault.
I mean, kinda.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
By the way, look up hashtag Guitardy. Guitardy. Hashtag
nice.
GUITARDY. Yes.
Let's wrap this up because I want to talk about wrestling I loved.
Okay, so, and this is going to be interesting. Eamon, where do you rank Impact this week?
3.
No, Matt, you scoff. That's a good rating. That's a good ranking.
We're not watching Ring of Honor anymore, keep in mind.
And sometimes Impact still comes in 4th.
Yeah. Matt, did you watch the other shows?
Yeah, I watched all 3 this week.
Okay.
And the bracketology special.
Okay. Actually, forget that. Then it's 4th.
Was it? I think it was better than the bracketology special. It was definitely better than the bracketology special.
I don't know. Brian Kendrick and Danielson sharing stories about Texas. I don't know.
TJ Perkins, man, made me cry. All right.
I love that. I thought we had a good ranking from Eamon. Then I forgot something 4th.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, where do you rank Impact this week?
I'll give it number 2.
Okay.
And leave you all in suspense.
Oh shit.
I
really want to know what you rank right now.
I am going to. It's tough. It's really tough because honestly, I think there's a clear number 1. After that, it is a bit muddy.
I don't know.
No. I'll give it 3.
Because keep in mind, we're ranking the show. We're not ranking the Evolution.
No, I know.
We're ranking the show.
And honestly, the only reason I think it's not 2 for me is because the commentary is atrocious.
No, because even if the final deletion was amazing, and I thought it was amazing, I would have still ranked it 3.
Yeah, the commentary for the rest of the show is atrocious.
Because
it completely devalued The street fight between Mia Yim and Jade, it completely
Sure.
devalued. Like I it's 3. It's 3. I say. All right. So Matt, where can we find you on the internet?
I am on the Twitter at Mainstream Matt with 1 T. Come say hi, and I'll say hi back.
Now, also, you do a nice little column around the Indies.
I do.
Wrestling Mayhem show.
For now. I've really been enjoying doing around the Indies and helping the Sorgatron Media Empire do what it does and having a positive impact on all the fine hard workers in independent professional wrestling. That makes me very proud. So yes, go to indiewrestling.us and see what these crazy kids have been up to. We got some good stuff from the 4th of July weekend, including the sexiest damn tag team you will ever see in your life. These two homeboys are fantastic. If I was a promoter, I'd be on the phone with them right now. Get them in here. Get the belts on these two dudes. You'll see them. They're the cover photo. Check them out.
He's not wrong. Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2Please. You can also check out the wrestling promotion I'm involved with, which is Inspire Pro Wrestling over at InspireProWrestling.com.
All right, and you can find me at MadMike4883 on the Twitter machine. Also, if you like Impact, if you want to hear what more thoughts I have to say about Impact, look up the hashtag MM for my live tweets during Impact because, oh man, I had a lot of questions about the final deletion. And please, if you have any answers to those questions, feel free to reply. I will get back to you because most of those questions still exist in my brain, and they will probably never go away. All right, so for Matt Carlins, for Eamon Paton, I'm Mad Mike, and this has been your Midweek War Delete.